Hello, trading is closed on January 3rd, 2020. We'll go over our calls. Look for the pattern with the early low. There it is. Monday's pattern also has the early low. When I made the video, we had this huge rally, new all-time high. Futures were up. We said there was a 50% chance of gapping down. And unless we gapped up, and futures were up, I said unless we gapped up, this number should print, and it did. You have a new target from today's pattern. Ultimately, this number should be seen. It has no time limit, but normally you don't have to wait long. Other side of the coin is that's a wall into the close. A Hobson close means a close right at the day's high, or if you're dropping, right at the day's low. And these walls, with the hole in the wall gap, this tends to fill at some time. The vast majority of the time it fills within a day or two. You go over this high, find resistance, and then drop again. But again, it's what happens a high percentage of the time. It doesn't happen every time. Here are the patterns. It's an ultimately lower price it would print. There's the target. We came close, but that's not close enough. We dropped here. MEJT said it was false. Prices would trade over the white line, over the upper white line, and they did, and that's where they found resistance. That's the way the system works. Here's what we said. The rally has further to go. I still think so. For tomorrow, 50-50 chance of gapping down. Well, what's the sense of saying 50% gapping down? You can't enter an order like that. I mean, you could say that every day. Well, don't forget that yesterday's high, everyone was positive, bullish, buy. It doesn't really help you make a trade, but it helps you avoid making a trade that loses. I don't like to go into trades where it's 50-50. I like to go in the trade where the odds are heavily on my side. And as I've said before, Buffett is one of the most successful investors of our generation, and Warren Buffett has his entire outperformance attributed to his performance in bear markets. He doesn't make as much when the market goes up as other people, but he way outperforms people when the market drops. And even if you never took a trade, it beats taking a trade which loses. And that's one of the features of the MEJT system. It isn't that it puts you into winning trades as much as it keeps you out of losing ones. But that's not MEJT. That's just 50. That's just a different system. Anyway, we said bulls needed to gap over this. Otherwise, target would print it did. These are the patterns for next week. I have personal business. I won't be able to post every day. Monday's pattern has the early low. As we trade down significantly in the first hour or two, tends to be an up day. Last hour high tends to be higher than the early low. That's a tendency. It doesn't require. A sharp drop early should lead to further weakness lasting more than a day. We have this wall, a hole in the wall gap. It typically fills promptly, finds resistance over it, and then the decline resumes. We also have a lower target from the ultimate MEJT system. So I have both higher and lower targets. Best guess I have is that the next week is going to be range bound, but that could change. I really haven't had my usual amount of time to do the analysis. I have personal business. I'm not going to be able to post every day. Anyone who wants to risk money on this, please be aware I just haven't had my usual amount of time to do my analysis. We have higher targets, lower targets. I don't think the rally's over, but this was a significant resistance area. And even though we might surpass it by a little bit, this might be a stopping point for probably not very long, but perhaps long enough to make you frustrated if you want to get immediate returns. And that's today's call.